In the spring of 2004, we were on a patrol in southern Afghanistan outside of one of our bases. And as we entered into a valley, we received fire from both sides, and we entered into an ambush. Because I only had 3 other American soldiers with me, we had to divide ourselves up to help command and control our Afghan forces. And at one point, we became pinned down. I know I was pinned down. And looking over to my left, I noticed there was a figure that was prone, who was another American. And at certain points during the contact, we became separated. We were pinned down. And I remember looking over to my left, and there was a figure who was prone with some of the Afghans. And I noticed that he was wearing the flag, and seeing the flag on his shoulder. And Seth, a lot of people think that we wear the flag backwards, but we wear the flag so U.S. soldiers always going forward. So we see the flag as it always goes forward. And at that point, I saw the flag, and he looked over at me, and we were able to rally our soldiers, rally the Afghans. And we overcame the opposition. We escaped with minimal loss of life. None of my American soldiers were injured or wounded. But I think it's just seeing the flag and the symbol that we wear in a uniform. To me, that it brings out a spirit that we're fighting not just for the Afghans, but we're fighting for ourselves and our way of life. And that's one of the reasons why I believe we wear the flag. It's because for once, it's inspiration. You know, that we are a society of free people, and this is what we want the other world to do. And we wear this flag with dignity. And we wear this flag because it helps unite us as Americans and as American soldiers. So when I see that flag, especially on the battlefield, you know, it inspires me, because I know there are people who have the same beliefs that I do, and that we will overcome.
When the Vietnam War started, I was flying an aircraft that we call the F-105. It's a single-seater, very fast airplane that can carry a lot of bombs long distances. So our squadron was assigned to bomb targets all over North Vietnam. And we were doing that in the summer of 1966. And I got in 68 of these missions, and I was shot down and captured on this 68th mission. I was injured quite badly. But the first approximately 4 or 5 years of our captivity, we lived in either in solitary confinement or 2 or 3 man cells. And there was a lot of bad treatment going on, a lot of torture. But at the end of about 4 or 5 years, they moved us all to a complex of jail cells that we call the Hanoi Hilton. And it was here that an incident occurred I want to tell you about. This Hanoi Hilton complex consisted of about 9 cells which surrounded a huge courtyard. And each one of these cells are anywhere from 25 to maybe 55 American prisoners. So imagine one of these cells, there are about 40 of us in it. They're all looking older, much older than their years, about 50 pounds underweight. Many of them still suffering from injuries and wounds, wounds still draining, untended wounds, untreated wounds. So imagine on a particular day, a young man named Mike Christian, a young Navy lieutenant. He had made an American flag, and he kept it hid from the Vietnamese. So on a particular day of the week, usually a Sunday afternoon when the guards are not around, he would check, make sure that the guards were not around, and then he'd take this flag and attach it to a wall. He had made it. I don't know where he got the materials, But it was a beautiful flag, maybe 10 by 15. It had all the stars and all the stripes on it. And I can remember that flag up there on the wall and just visualize everything that it stood for. Well, the senior ranking man would call us to attention. We would salute that flag and then pledge allegiance to it. And then we would silently sing, "God Bless America." One day during a normal inspection, the guards discovered the flag. So of course they removed it from the cell, but that night they came in and took Mike Christian outside in the courtyard and proceeded to beat him up. They knocked him down, kicked him, and dragged him a few feet across the courtyard. And they'd jerk him up, beat him, knock him down, kick him, drag him across the courtyard. Then they'd do it again and again and then again. Finally, they got him across the courtyard and put him in a building that we called Heartbreak Hotel. They beat him one more time in one of the cells there. The next morning, he was brought back to his normal cell where his fellow POWs nursed him back to health. He had broken ribs, bruised very badly. That night, Mike Christian began to make another flag.